Masquera say Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel, Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kanakari Tanga Kukuya Panino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Zimbabwe, Takuigirai, Nyabuditskwa, ne one of my pro Nelson Chamisa's allies. We are Buddha. Ashtaura here, Achi. There are a lot of investors Akamirira or Zambia if they could inject money. Zimbabwe can change within a few years, within a few months. Zimbabwe in kwanza kuchinja Chamisa Zimbabwe ndio mbele nyaya ye Zambia for Zimbabwe tara here achite if Zimbabwe ka doctor the British pound and the US dollar through my channels are right as my investors can come within a few months. Nika yosimuka and even my banks can come and invest mono mu Zimbabwe. Tikade kuwesta ngwe intro mungonzo zataka na murumo wa mama bantu zamufunga pamsoro penya I mu comment section.
Sechizvarwa cheku Zimbabwe to give my opinion kuti ndigoverane nemipfungwa yangu. Ndekuti I would start by giving the reference yepa Zambia. I was just speaking to the guy wandakaona ku Zambia in few days, and this guy is crying saying, hey, ndada kuya ku South Africa zvino azvina kumira zvakanaka mu Zambia mari aisikubatika. Ndikati but I remember kuti president HH paakapinda president from Edgar Long, the kwacha gained overnight, and in few weeks the kwacha rakangera rova the rand. It was a historic movement. So nasi zvakamira sei zvakanzi mukoma bvunzai isusu tiri paground zvina kumira zvakanaka. So comparing Zambia to Zimbabwe, I would say in the interest of my country Zimbabwe, for the good welfare of every Zimbabwean citizen, it would be better. Ndishida kupa an example in Zambia that if Zimbabwe, just like Zambia, if HH the new president, instead of looking at the gaining value of his kwacha against the continental currencies like rand, Malawian kwacha, Tanzania shilling, Kenya, whatever, all the way to Nigerian naira, I think HH and his government, they should have dumped the kwacha. From the very, very beginning, Wangadeva ka adopt either the United States dollar or the British pound. You get my idea? Then machine, yes, Yemarinema banks, they would be issuing out and making bills and payments in US dollars or British pounds. Now, if the same thing would do to Zimbabwe, looking that Zimbabwe doesn't have a currency today, do you think the investors, they want to come to Zimbabwe? We've got big money from big institutions like the World Banking, IMF, other different banking and financial institutions, big business corporations throughout the whole world, which commands billions and billions of big cash, big money, big flow out. They'll rush to Zimbabwe. But I do say, instead of printing the Zimbabwean dollar in Mukurumbira, that government, transitional government, it would be in the best interest of Zimbabweans that they don't be tempted to the point of trying. Zimbabwe mari it is stronger at times and half than the rand. No, I do suggest that Zimbabweans should approach the British government and the British Parliament. Say, Murkona, we've been in shit for 44 years. Although the outlook is promising, we don't want to print money for the next 5 or 10 years. The British pound. Remembering the fact that the British economy, United Kingdom, it operates on a dual currency. I don't know, I think Britain vanhu zvitovashamisa kuti Britain inoshandisa mari tu ine the sterling pound and the pound. Waibata nhau yandiri kutaura ine inonzi the sterling pound and the pound. One of the mari iri backed by gold ramakaona riye riri kuma reserves at the Bank of England. Then the other one manje inonzi fiat currency iri based on imports and exports, like what you know from the World Bank, IMF inopaya anonzi SDR anonzi special drawing rights, kureva kuti 5 strong currency of the most powerful world countries combined together inonzi chimari 1 kana kuti SDR 1 special drawing right, kana kuti chimari 1 kana kuti special drawing right, kureva kuti that 5 currencies when compressed together is equal to chimari 1 kana kuti SDR 1 special drawing right. Now if Zimbabwe wants to come out, if you want to benefit my teacher ari kunana muzarabana ari kubhinga ari kuplumtree ari pasi penyika ari kunana chiredzi nevafudzi vemombe vari munzvimbo dzakasiyana, forget about the sim dollar or the zig, adopt the British pound. It's allowed. That is why you hear that in the 60s and 70s, when the Rhodesian pound was stronger, was the strongest currency in the world, the British Parliament came together and they said, I think we must adopt the Rhodesian pound because for now, it is the strongest currency in the whole world. The Rhodesian pound. Kune vamwe vanga vasingazive this is sweet history about your country Zimbabwe. Regai tikuvhurire machapter. They wanted to adopt it, Rhodesian pound, even mari inoshandiswa kupi? Ku Britain. You get the idea? Or if you think you don't want to use the British pound, you can actually approach the United States Congress. Maenda noku Capitol Hill ku White House uko. Monyora matsamba enyu kuti you want to use the United States dollar. Hazvinetse. Because vanhu ivava chavasingadevedzi ndechekuti kushandisirwa mari yavo zvisiri. There will be a check-up whereby your economy will actually be monitored by the United States government. Kozvine basa rezvekumoniterwa economy yenyu, they will be safeguarding the use of their money within your own country. So the same with Britain. So zvinoitika ndezvekuti amufambe muchizhamba tata muchikwira ndege zvaita munangagwa zviyezve idiot mambara achienda kwese kwese achiti Zimbabwe is open for business vanhu there's no need for that. If you've got a good shop with the good products, people, they know where to buy. They'll just walk into the shop. The same happens with countries. The same happens with investors. You don't have to force investors. Zimbabwe is open for business. Everybody knows the history of Zimbabwe, the potential of Zimbabwe, the resources in Zimbabwe, the minerals in Zimbabwe. They know. They know. You don't have to say Zimbabwe is open. Once you adopt the British pound, the next morning, my British banks, my American banks, they will flock into Zimbabwe. About $1 billion corporations, business corporations, they'll start to do everything in Zimbabwe. You don't even have to ask them to build new skyscrapers. They'll come. You don't have to ask anybody about making the best use of the current dams of water. There will be no irrigation fields in Zimbabwe producing one of the best farming crops, produce fruits, whatever, for export and for local consumption. Do you hear what I'm saying? There will be much food to feed the cattle for beef and producing dairy products. And everybody will start to want to come to Zimbabwe. So you don't have to make stringent, very difficult, very hard home affairs laws. My foreigners in Zimbabwe. Because that country, it may be small, but it can accommodate more than 200 million people. And in Zimbabwe, we are only 17 million people. So what's wrong about that? Because once your country is become the cream of Africa and the world, everybody will start to want to come to be in Zimbabwe. You don't have to say, my doctor Akatiza, Nemanes, where. Before you know it, everybody will be back in the country. The best doctors, the best teachers, the best engineers, the best technicians, the best bankings. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying if HH president in Zambia was careful enough not to try to stabilize, to maintain his culture against the local competition, against the regional competition, against the international competition, they adopt a US dollar or adopt the British pound. Ikonezvo munhu wese pangadai pasina munhu atombotaura kuti ndoenda kumuzanzi, vanhu vese vangadai kutaura nawe kuenda kuZambia kulusaka. I was in Lusaka, some places they are smart, they are clean, but you can actually see kuti vanhu Zambia inyatsosumuka inake zvichada kuti vanhu vaya vashande zvine simba. We see truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of copper. I don't think they are going to build a good economy by exporting copper as they are doing and the other minerals. I don't think so. They need to re-strategize. So about Zimbabwe, I want to tell you this. Besides using some other people's currency, you need to go on full-scale farming. Import thousands of combiner harvesters, planters, tractors, farming equipment of all types. Do you hear what I'm saying? My drone is a sprayer minda. You need to have industries making agriculture pipes, irrigation pipes. Manguma dams, Zimbabwe has got a lot of many dams from the plan, Yerodija, Asata Abakwa. Ameno wani rakagone kuone zano PF from Mugabe kusvika pana Egypt Mambara anatokwe mkosi. But there are many dams. Even Racho Abaka, they are failing to make good use of that water. Can I tell you something about Lake Kariba? That it was not only about providing electric power to both the countries, Zimbabwe and Malawi, and the fishery industry and tourism. No. The second biggest plan, Rhodesia, the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland about Lake Kariba, was that they want to make sure that water is everywhere. In North Rhodesia and South Rhodesia, it boosted farming. They wanted to beat Russia and Brazil. Do you hear what I'm saying? They wanted to beat Russia, Ukraine, Brazil, in farming. That was the agenda yakange iripa the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland. But if I ask you today, Panama pipes my biggest tunnel of water tunnels are kupinda inland into Zimbabwe all the way to Binga, to Gokwe, all the way to other areas. Those pipes were supposed to jump other perennial rivers to visit Umshatu Tongoti Tunongo to my seasonal. Tongo to Mvuraka and Gueshaka Fura, to Bataoma, I'm going to pipe which were Pane plan that my irrigation pipes and canals to carry the water from all the way from Lake Kariba into inland. Inland. I'm telling you the truth. But manje pakangopinda madzakutsaka abva kusango vane pfungwa dzechihure kudhakwa kunwa doro nourombe nekoba kuba kusvika kumari yekuJNB nekunasa nemuhurumende nekureserve bank. Amusikaona kuti vanhu ava havasi right. Amusikaona kuti vanhu havasi right. Besides recovering the stolen money since 1980 yatinogona kurecover nekuti haina kupera yakawandisa ichiripo kubva pamari yakabiwa since 1980 for 44 years. If I tell you that pamariyo yese yakabiwa vanhu vese vava mari yavagona kuparadza, it's less than 5%. I'm telling you the truth. But besides mari yavakaba, we can still do wonders. for our nation, for our country, Zimbabwe. Now, South Africa knows this, that Zimbabweans, once it is free and it is in the right type of leaders, it can beat South Africa in less than 6 months. Tinozononoka zvedu infrastructure, but even after 3 years, infrastructure inenge too deadly. We thank God for the provision of technology, because kwane bangomazi largest type of cranes ekuti you can import those cranes. The largest types of cargo aeroplanes you can import machine inochikisa to fly it straight into Zimbabwe. Pasina kumboti zvinhu zvakuzombosvikira ku South Africa kuport uku zvozonzi ndazvichitakurwa by road by normal. Kune imwe kuti dzimwe ndege dzinotakura zvinhu so much metric tons of weight which you can bring into Zimbabwe, and you started to build one of the most powerful economic state. Kwazvo kuti vanhu vanotoita basa rekunotenga matsaga nematsaga ezvombo zvehondo kunana Korea nezvimandege nezvimahelicopter. Munozvidi zvimahelicopter zvinorima chikafu. Hamusikono kuti kurasika. Vamwe vari busy nezvimaslogani shanduko muZimbabwe, vamwe vachiti pamberi nayo, vamwe vachiti gafe. Aiwa, hazvisiri izvo zviri kudiwa izvi. Zimbabwe yakuda vanhu vane brain dziri economic minded, economic focused. Mukunzwa? Vanhu vanonzi economic genius people. Tinavo vakawanda. Vamwe vakaenda kunana Canada, vamwe vari kunana Britain, vamwe vari kuna Australia, vamwe in the United States, vamwe vari kuna Brazil, vamwe vari kuChina chako kuChina maZimbabwe, vamwe vari kunana Japan. Vamwe vakazara muSouth Africa munana Eskom muchii, mufarming muchii. But they are afraid of one country, Zimbabwe. They are not afraid of Mozambique. They are not afraid of Zambia. They are not afraid of Malawi. They are not afraid of Botswana. Hakuna chinuko. They are not afraid of Namibia. They are afraid of one country, Zimbabwe. They are not afraid of Nigeria. They are not afraid of Sudan. They are not afraid of Egypt. People, they are afraid of Zimbabwe. One is the history. If we can beat the history, I can get it by 7 to 10 times. I'm telling you. That is why tichiti ndatiende kuborder tinovhara, ndatite national shutdown Zimbabwe yese. Toda kuti vava vabve. Nyika imborohwa nemhepo. Amukaite nyika yekuti makavaka dzimba ime munopazirwa. Kwese kunana Zambia, kunana ani, kwese kunana Europe, vanhu vanovaka dzimba pese pese. Pane pamakamudzwa chinzi hurumende dziri kupaza dzimba dzevanhu. But imi mapazirwa how many times? You don't take action. Nevamwe vanhu vari muZanu-PF, they don't like this Zanu-PF. Vamwe vacho vari muZanu-PF vanozikanwa kuti these people they are dangerous, vanonyaradzwa nekupiwa zvigaro. Because ana ED vanenge vachitya kuti uyu makasamupa chigaro akatanga kutaurisa zvinhu zvinodhakwa, mupe chigaro abva anyarara. So varipo vakawanda vasisade Zanu-PF but vakavharwa muromo nekupiwa zvigaro. Kwazoti kune vamwe vari kungosapotera Zanu-PF for survival sake. But vanonyatsoona kuti zvinhu zvazvichaita. The same our police know, our army know, maCIO ari kuzviziva, magadhijero ari kuzviziva, nembwa nehuku dziri kuzviziva kuti hai Zanu-PF hachaiti. Mwari ari kudeka akatoti nemvura hachadi kunayisa, Zanu-PF haite. Saka tiri kuti wediwe, batwai nemweya wokuda nyika yenyu. Munoona tina njodzi dziri kugezeswa matuzve evana varungu nechemberi dzevarungu every day. Sorry to say this, but pamwe pacho handizivi kuti ndingazvitaure nchiti kudii. Vana amai vari kutumirwa mari pamwe 100 rand, 500, pamwe 1000, pamwe 2000. Munongonzwa kuti mahouse girl, aiwa vanhu vari kutsvaira madhodhembwa kuno kuSouth Africa nogeza matuzve evanhu echemberi dzekuno. Motumirwa mari moendesa kuchigayo, imwe yacho mupezera futi makuendesa kuchechi muchiti ndauya nechipo changu ndichinotenda kuchechi ndakatumirwa nemwana wangu kamari ari kushanda kuSouth Africa. Mwari ngaamukomborere. Mune chokwadi mimi chekutaura kuti kukomborerwa kwevana venyu mimi kugeza matuzve vana vevarungu nekutsvaira madhodhembwa ndio zvamuri kunamatira kuZimbabwe. Ndio zvamuri kunamatira imi. Kuti dai Mwari angompo basa ibasa chinhu wakarichengeta ikoko kuvarungu kuSouth Africa ikoko. Indi amuchida kubatwa nedhimoni rechinyasara ndimi. Vanhu vokumalawika ndo vanozivikanwa kuti ndo mahouse girl nemagarden boy nei zvekuti kumusha kwavo vaitoreverera vanhu vamwe vacho vachitoroyana kuroyerana mabasa akadaro. Ndo mabasa omoshuvira vana venyu. Imimi you've got a country with everything, blessed with everything. Which country in Africa compares to Zimbabwe? Which country? Which country in Africa compares to the blessed Zimbabwe? From the Horn of Zimbabwe to the Eastern Highlands, from the Limpopo River to the Zambezi River. We have the Eastern Highlands, we've got the Lowveld. We have the mountains, we have the valleys. We have the very best of the people. Which people in Africa can compare to Zimbabweans? Mozart Jeff Judah Usana Nutawasa.